Sherry G. Welcome back to the channel. Look, I hope you hit that like button on your way in. If you didn't, you can go ahead and do it now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So today I just have another quick video. I want to share a message that Melody's manager dropped. I call it an APB. I know a couple of bloggers have already spoken on it and they've read it and released it. But I actually sat with it for a while because I like to get a deeper meaning of things sometime. And I just felt like this was one of those things I wanted to get even more meaning from. It was like a read or a clap back or just a strong message to people who tend to come after Melody. And I believe that it is allegedly, in my opinion, in a direct response to things that were said on a live that some of us bloggers did the other night, last week, when we were on with Anthony Lofty's and Miss Wanda came on. So, yeah, that was something else. So she said some things, and we weren't even talking about Melody, but she just brought some things up. So, anyway, I believe this is just a direct response to that. I'll get in it in just a minute. But keep in mind that the views expressed in this video, they are alleged. It's all of opinion and it's for entertainment. Hey, I decided to come on camera. Oh yeah. So one of my subbies said that she missed me and I promised. I said, okay, then I guess that means I have to come back up on camera. So here I am. Here I is. I hope you guys are all doing well. So yes, I want to go ahead and like I said, Mel's manager issued a message, and I believe that allegedly it was in direct response to Miss Wanda and some of the things that she said when we were all on Anthony Lofty's live that he did last week. I think it was Sunday night, maybe. I don't even remember. But anyway, she brought up something about Melody. She was speaking about, um, she was upset because people were, I guess, going in on about Marceau and Tisha and where they lived, although they were claiming that they're millionaires, right? Allegedly, they're millionaires and worth 17 million. And so people were kind of going in about that, like, why are you living in this apartment? And the house that you're coming from doesn't scream millionaire, blase, blase. I'm paraphrasing. So anyway, she went on to say, out of the blue, that I know what Melody's home looks like, or something like that. Again, I'm paraphrasing, alluding to the fact that she didn't have much either. Now, granted, I believe that Melody probably did come from humble beginnings, like most of us, a lot of us, right? But during the time frame that Miss Wanda knew her, I don't believe that's true, allegedly, and according to what Mel's manager released. So, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to read what she actually posted in her Insta stories or Instagram. Um, the wording is really kind of small, so let me just try. It says here, there's something to be said about the color blue, because out of the blue, my client Melody Schultz, who's minding her own business, is in their mouths. Big house, baby. When this child was still a baby, her first house, she built her first house from the ground up. She was 29 years old. So it's certainly not a shoebox. Some of my wording is cut off because I tried to enlarge it so I could read it. And so some of the words are cut off. But so you're getting the message, I hope. It's saying in here that it's pretty pathetic when women old enough to be this child's mother keeps coming for her like she owes them something. Any more questions, gripes, or concerns about houses, land, etc., etc., please join Melody's property preservation class. And she says that they cover her anyway, something about she's going to keep she's going to keep this blue shoe all on their necks going forward. So she has on the color blue and she has on blue shoes. And so to me, I understand that it was a read, and she was saying she's going to keep this color blue, and this she's in the color blue, and she's going to keep these blue shoes on their neck going forward. But it was just something about the color blue. So I'm a person who colors mean something to me. And so, like, I'm very particular about colors that I have in certain rooms, depending on what I want to feel when I'm in that room, because I do believe that colors do produce a certain type of energy. Like orange makes me happy and it invigorates my mind. So I have orange in some of the rooms where I want to do work and where I want to be inspired, because I'm trying to craft and I'm trying to do different things. And when I say craft, I actually mean create. I'm creating whatever it is that I'm working on, which is a lot. But anyway, um, so those colors mean things to me. So the color blue actually stood out to me. And I thought, well, what is the deeper meaning here that I could get and take away for myself besides this just being a read? And I want to share it with you all because I did look up the color blue. And it says here that blue represents both the sky and the sea, which I love looking at both. I love being around water, it's so peaceful. And I love looking at the sky. Um, so, anyway, the color blue represents both the sky and the sea and is associated with open spaces, freedom, intuition, imagination, inspiration, and sensitivity. And so when I think about Melody, I know that she says that she needs to take some time to just decompress. So she has to pull back and get away from everyone. And we've seen a lot of like where she's out, she's at the beach. Um, I am a person who likes open spaces. I don't like a lot of clutter. I don't like a lot of stuff around me. And so it's kind of hard sometimes because my husband likes a lot of stuff. So we kind of like, he has his spaces and I have my spaces because I like things fresh. And I just don't like a lot of stuff. It bothers me. It does something to me. So I like open spaces. But to me, it kind of represents how I like to be in my head. I don't like a lot of clutter going on here. And that's the reason why I like to take time to be by myself so I can decompress. And so I can clear out all of the clutter in my brain and a lot of it, which is just unnecessary. And so I can reprogram and rethink. And I think that we all owe that to ourselves because there's so much going on in our world and in our lives. And I mean, just even sitting here and being on YouTube, there's a lot going on, and sometimes you need to just pull back from it because it can make you feel a type of way. And even like us as vloggers and stuff like that, we're sitting here and we're in other people's lives, and sometimes it just becomes so much, at least for me personally, that I have to pull back. I have to pull back and decompress and just get away from it all because there's just a lot of negativity. And if I don't do anything to come from the inside and just clear all that out, then it just can be a bit much for me. So the color blue represents, to me, making sure that your mind is clear and open. And so I want to say to you, make sure you take some time to do that. And then it says too, the color blue represents freedom. We know, I believe, that she's experiencing that freedom. And there's someone who actually came in my comments and said that, I love Martell and I love Mel. And I don't know if it was a rebuttal to what I was saying or whatever, but she wants this couple to get back together as husband and wife, that he just needs to get help. But I just don't think people understand the level, not everyone, a lot of people do, but the level of toxicity that she experienced in this marriage, in her union. And when you compare that to the amount of freedom that she has now, like free to even have her own thoughts, what a big deal that is to experience that. And this woman went on to say, and if you're here, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to bring you down, or I'm not trying to discount your sentiments. How you feel is how you feel. But I'm just giving another perspective. I'm giving the perspective from my vantage points since you came up in my comments, right? But anyway, that's a very toxic situation. And I'm not saying that. She also mentioned, this lady, and I don't want to say her name. She mentioned that they have a love for each other still. And that might be true. But, that doesn't mean you have to take this person back and take back all of that vile toxicity. Everything he's doing is trying to bring her down, right? He's trying to bring her down. He's trying to get her back, but he's going about it all the wrong way. I do believe that he allegedly needs help, but the level of help, from my perspective, that he needs is going to take a while. Should she sit and wait for him all that time? I don't think so. I think by then she'd probably be done anyway if she wasn't done now. And no matter how she might have some love for him, I believe she does. I also believe that she's forgiven him. But forgiveness doesn't mean that I have to still subject myself to your ill treatment of me. And I'm just going to leave that there. But freedom, we all have the right to free ourselves from the shackles that we have put around our own legs. So sometimes you just need to sit back and think about your life and what is it that's holding me back? What is it that's keeping me from moving forward? And a lot of times we're pointing at other people and we're blaming other things and we're blaming other people when it's a decision that rests on you to make. The decision is yours. You have to move forward. You have to decide that this is enough and release yourself from those shackles that keep you bound. Okay, and so then the next thing, it says that blue represents intuition. So this is the ability to hear your inner voice speaking. It's the Spirit of God speaking. Like, how do I know that this isn't just all of this stuff, that my thoughts aren't just coming from all of the noise that's coming from the world, but what does my soul say? What does my soul say? It's like when you're taking a test and your your spirit tells you A is the right answer, but you're like, you start battling, right? So ego gets in the way. You're like, and you start going back and forth in your mind, and you're like, I'm going to choose C, but A was the right answer the whole time, right? So what is the answer for you? What does your soul say? And sometimes you have to just take time. Again, this is why taking time to be alone and just meditate and just let yourself speak to yourself, get to know yourself, right? So following your intuition, and I believe that Melody is in a space where she's doing that. She's learning to do that more. Following her heart, following her mind. She said that when God told her to go, she left. She was following her intuition, her God sense, right? And then imagination. Um, our imaginations are given to us to help us create wonderful lives for ourselves, and we can see that happening with Melody. She uses her imagination, right? I'm sorry, my allergies are I'm still dealing with this, but I'm going to make it through this video. So anyway, she uses her imagination to come up with her products. How am I going to do this? How am I going to run my property preservation class, still do the acting, still do the fashions, still do the show, still do my products, still do Sugar Mama's products, and the other things that I have on the back burner that's going to sooner or later move up to the front. How do you do all of that? But first of all, you have to see yourself there. You have to see yourself with these things actually taking place. Our imaginations are powerful. So take some time and get with your imagination. Inspiration. Blue is inspiring. And it also says that blue represents the meaning of depth. I believe that Melody is a very deep person. Just like she said, she sits back and she kind of absorbs everything that goes around her, everything that's going on around her. I'm a person like that. Like, I am very much an introvert, but I am not socially awkward at all. I know how to throw a good party, and I know how to be extroverted. I have to be in my job, right? I have to be extroverted, and customer service is top notch at my hotel. And because I push customer service and I show it to my team, right? So, anyway, I am very much introverted because my energy comes from within. I have to take time away from everybody. But when I tell people, like at work, because I'm all like, at work, that I'm introverted. Once I go home, I ain't talking to nobody. I ain't going to be on the phone. I'm not that girlfriend that's going to be calling you every single day. I ain't like that. Like sometimes my phone rings and I'm like, not today. Uh, yeah, I just don't feel like it. I just want to be alone. So anyway, and it was really hard for my husband. Like it'll be 39 years that we've been married this coming July, and it was hard when we first got married because he's an extrovert, and it was hard for me because he's an extrovert, and I'm such an introvert. And I'm like, boy, can you just sit down? Like he's like just bouncing all over the place. But anyway, guys, so depth. Blue means depth, right? Trust, loyalty, sincerity, wisdom, confidence, stability, faith, and intelligence. Those are all of the things that I see in Melody. So, anyway, like I said, I just was coming with a quick video today. I just want to inspire you to take time to be alone, to take time to pull back. I think it's just so important, especially for us women and especially for us older women, right? Like I'm in my 60s, so I find that it's really, really important because sometimes you sit back and you have the grandkids, you have all the stuff going on, and then you're getting older and you're wondering what's next for me. Sometimes just take time just to be alone and let your spirit lead you and guide you. And I also believe that just because you're in your 60s, it's never too late. It's never too late to achieve your goals, to achieve your dreams. I feel like 6 months worth of happiness is better than leaving this world and never experiencing it. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. You guys, if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because I will be back. Until then, ciao.